The next part will be about the CTE Federal Program Monitoring on-site visits. First of all, I want to thank everybody for getting all of the prep work done and providing me with the syllabus for each one of your courses. That was really helpful as I was putting together all of the requested documents for the VDOE required for the federal program monitoring. If you have access to the on-site visit schedule, if you're not included on this schedule, you can kind of bypass this portion of the webinar, and you can access it right here. All four of the high schools are part of the on-site visit. Benjamin Sims Middle School will be the first site to visit. Then Hampton High School, and this is the day on 11/12/2019. The typical on-site visit starts with 4 concurrent interviews of principals, counselors, teachers, and students. And we'll go over a little bit more about the interview later. And then is followed up with an hour-long walkthrough for the middle schools and an hour-and-a-half long walkthrough for the high schools. So we have Benjamin Sims Middle School, Hampton High School. Then on Wednesday we have Kicquetan and Phoebus High School. And Thursday will be the last day in Hampton City Schools. It will be Bethel, and then wrapping up with Jones Magnet Middle School. And then they travel to New Horizons to check out the regional centers. So as we're going to go through this, they want to see a walkthrough of every class, even if a class is not in session. So some site visit walkthrough expectations for you all. So first of all, make sure that you're familiar with the walkthrough form that the VDOE will be using. So I've shared this with you before. Feel free to print it out and look at it. My apologies for it being sideways. But I have this listed down where they're looking for, number one, they're looking for safety and they're looking for student engagement. All right. I would like everybody to have their SDS binders. All should be kept in a visible location just so that they know it's there. And then I want each class to have a folder in the front of your room that would include the following. I would like a printed copy of the instructional plan. It could be the current day or a sample if you are maybe if you don't have a class in session for that time. Or if you don't have that class that day, and it should be for each course taught. Options include daily plans or unit plans. If students are working on a project, the project assignment page can be included in that folder. And make sure that they're tied to the student competencies. Also, we're looking for evidence of integration of the Career and Technical Student Organization co-curricular instructions for each course taught. Options include daily lesson plans or unit plan. Let me fix that up. And they can be the same for each course. It might be a PowerPoint that you have. It may be the day that you kind of go over what a Career and Technical Organization is. It could be the lesson plan. That probably wouldn't be going on the day of their site visit as well. All right, just something that is related to what they do in Career and Technical Student Organizations. Another thing that we want to have a printed copy of a completed competency record for each of the course that you're taught. Students, their names should be redacted, meaning that just like take a marker and blot their name out so that we don't see this. If it's the first time you're teaching this course, you can provide a working record of it, or just say competencies were not recorded at this time. But just make sure that you know where to get your competencies on Verso, of course, as we had said before, and have it there. And if you do have one in Google Classroom, you do have a digital copy that you're working with, you can have that ready on your computer that you're just to show them where you keep it. Next, in the folder, I want you to have a printed copy of the safety test records, if applicable. And remember, in Tech Ed, of course, you have your safety test, what you're using on the with the machines, etc. Safety tests if it's in culinary, if it's talking about knife units or knife safety, if it is even in the business IT, if you have a online safety test as far as living online and just acceptable use. Also, student names should be redacted there as well. Another thing, the roofs should be neat, orderly, and safe. The rules should be posted. I'm in the process of getting CTE posters made, and they'll be delivered before the site visits. And just make sure that you have the things that say, hey, this is a welcoming learning environment. So take a little bit of time on the PD day and make sure that your rooms are in nice order. Throw away the stuff that you don't use. Make sure that there's no hanging cords, or if there are, put in a work order so that we can get those out of the way. Just kind of tidy up those rooms there. The Tech Ed and culinary labs, we want to make sure as the students are in there and the teachers that we're demonstrating that proper safety standards. If you're in an area that requires signage for PPE use, make sure that the students are using personal protective equipment, and make sure that the type of PPE there is a sign that says safety glasses must be worn in this area, or make sure that you have your welding visor on in this area, etc. Instructions, make sure that the students, if you can, we want the students should be engaged. We want the instruction to be, of course, tied to course competencies. If it's listed on your board with your learning intention success criteria that is coming straight from a competency, put the competency numbers up there. If you have it in a Google Classroom, make sure it's up there so that they can see it, that we know that we have it. And the competencies should be in your lesson plans. And the review team are only going to be in your class for a short time. They're more interested in seeing students engage in hands-on fun activities. If they are in the room and the students are just taking a test, which is fine, but won't be interested in what the students are doing. They'll be more interested in what is in your room and be looking for maybe things that might violate some safety procedures, etc. So if you have the students engaged, that's better. If you're on planning or you're not in the room, the review team will still be conducting a walkthrough to assess it and just make sure that it is up to safety standards. And that is all that we have for the walkthrough portion of the webinar.